Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. In this video we will finally be speaking to Igton to head towards Ruhalt Plateau. We have been doing a lot of running around, and the final thing that needed to be done before we could leave was to gather all that con essence that we had gathered in the last video. So as it stands now, we're pretty much up to date. We've purchased all the weapons that we need up to this point. We've done all of the side quests and whatnot, so we're pretty much ready to move on. I have also gone and stocked myself up and bought a couple of things. I'm just gonna go and check the shop real quick. I have a little bit of extra spending money, and it is recommended to buy any items that you might need before you leave. As you can see here, I have quite a few healing items, but it never hurts to stock up, especially because I do have quite a bit of money from all of the grinding and fighting that I had to do. So once you've done everything and you're absolutely positive that you haven't missed anything, it would be a good time to speak to Igton, who can be found at Celestine's home in Cota Mare with the yellow exclamation point.
So, you're really going to Lestrada then?
Yeah.
I had hoped to be of some use, but I'm sorry I haven't been able to help.
What do you mean? You saved my life, remember? You've done plenty.
Maybe.
I want to ask you something. The power of the blood-packed wizardry is keeping me alive right now, right?
Yes, that's right.
I see. I don't think it's likely, but I won't fall under his control again, will I?
No. Your master is now the princess, so there's no chance of that happening.
Great. I'll put down Schuenzite this time for sure.
Put down Schuenzite? You have a deep hatred for him, don't you?
I guess. He started this war. I can't forgive him for that. Though, it does feel a little weird that he's the one who made me.
You have my deepest apologies for the things that I've done. My sins against you are just as terrible as Schuenzite's.
What brought this on? You know, I don't resent that I was born into this world the way I was. I just don't want to end as a tool that someone made. There has to be a meaning to my existence. I guess it's not like me to be so serious.
No. You have definitely changed. I'm overjoyed to see such changes in you.
You are, huh? I gotta say, it's kind of embarrassing being told that by the man who made me.
I see myself as your father.
Right then, I'm off. I want you to keep a close eye on Lestrada today. We're gonna trash it, but good.
I will. I'll be watching the whole time. Take care.
My heart is pounding in my chest. Step by step, I set out. The world may mock and scorn us, but we'll take up arms, even so. It may end up being a lonely fight to save the real world. I'm sure that Lestrada is waiting for us up ahead. What sort of ending will our battle have?
How? How can this be?
You are surprised?
You? Who in the world are you?
You see your answer. I have devoted my life to the greater good of Landsheim, and so you will assist me. I need only the command now.
Considering that it is you, of all people, who is asking, how could I refuse? However, do you truly wish to make me king? Or are you simply using me to further your own ends?
The royal family is finished. A new king is necessary. A new king who will protect this kingdom. A new king risen from the ashes of war. You will fulfill that role.
I am honored.
All right, it's time we set out for Ruhalt.
Yeah. This will probably be the final battle. Everyone, are you ready?
All that's left is to cross the Ruhalt Basin! I'll carry the device. The rest of you take on the enemy soldiers. I really don't think that I can fight while I'm carrying the device. So if you see me in trouble, please come to my rescue.
Don't worry. We'll make sure you're properly covered while we fight.
Alright, so we're not quite to the plateau yet. Unfortunately, we have to go through Ruhalt Basin in order to get there. Now, we've been to the Ruhalt Basin several times before. We took this route to get to Belfort, and as we can recall, the last time we were here, it was full of soldiers and lightning mines. Now, fortunately, the lightning mines are gone, but there are still soldiers to fight. I would recommend saving at either this pillar or the pillar near Belfort, possibly, because you are going to have to do a lot of walking and a lot of fighting. So let's just get started. We'll start mopping up house here. And in our travels, we are going to need to look for the lightning essence as well as the lightning altar, and that will aid us in two of our side quests. One is the one we've been working on for quite some time, searching for the royal seals. We should be able to now gain access to the lightning altar where the lightning god is, and we also need to collect that final bit of lightning essence that is needed to draw out the giant maw back in Cota Mare. I'm just going to pull up my map real quick, and as you can see here, we're able to take the first fork either left or right. If you want to go the long way around, there really is no advantage to doing that except for more soldiers to fight, and you're able to pick up any chests that you may have missed on your first visit. But we're gonna have plenty of soldiers to fight, and I haven't missed anything, so I'm just going to take the short route for now.
It looks like I finally repaid my debt. Now I'll send you all to Lestrada.
We're counting on you.
Then let's hurry.
And this is the place where we found Igton for the first time, which was actually a very long time ago, now that I think about it. After that brief little cutscene, feel free to save at the pillar if you need to, or carry on. And in this area, there's going to be your usual soldiers, and you're going to have a mix of southern and northern forces. So this is going to include Trewas, regular foot soldiers, mages, and healers. So just be wary of that. In this area, you're going to get a really nice chunk of experience. These enemies have leveled up pretty significantly from the monsters we were fighting in Navy Blue Marsh before we left, so they are going to provide some pretty decent experience, which is always a good thing. This will allow you to maybe gain a level or two if you haven't been grinding, or if you just want to get a little bit of additional experience. You could also run right through the canyon and not fight any of the soldiers. That's also an option, especially if you are tired of fighting them, which I imagine most of you are. However, we are going to be coming up to a rather challenging boss fight sometime in the near future here, so I'm going to stop and fight just to get every little bit of experience that I can. And Rue is a fantastic choice for this area because there are going to be a lot of lightning-based attacks. She's automatically immune to the paralysis status effect, and she's also able to generate a large amount of con, which you can use to chain or just unleash a large attack with her to do a little bit of additional damage. You can also use any of your other wizards. As you can see, all of our wizards will be able to generate con in this area, so it's completely up to you what team you'd like to use. I just like to stick with Rue, mostly for the natural resistance to status effects. It's just one less thing I have to worry about. She's also pretty powerful as it is anyways, and of course one of my favorite party members, so I like to keep her in when I can, but I will be switching the party up a little bit very shortly. Other than that, there's not too much to be wary about. As I had mentioned before, if you did miss any chests or you just didn't bother to look for them on your first journey through here, then it would be wise to just keep an eye out for anything that you might have missed. And back at the camp, where we just had that cutscene, is where one of the keys needed for the Reedon Fireball quest. We picked that up a lot earlier when we had fought the Sentinel in the area and rescued Igton the first time, but if you've missed that treasure chest in the camp, it's really important to go and grab it, because that is one of the keys needed for that quest. And the only key that we're missing at this time is the one at Ruhalt Plateau, so you can kind of kill two birds with one stone if you forgot to pick that one up. At this fork, we are going to be heading south. We're going to take this little windy path here, and this is going to take us over to the lightning altar. So a little bit of a slight detour, and a lot more fighting, but necessary, especially because while we're here, we don't want to miss it and have to do a return trip. Because this area is not too exciting, so I don't want to spend too much time here. We're bowling through these enemies relatively easily, which is nice. And Igton asked us to protect him while he's being attacked, but just like when Igton followed us as a party member and as a little bit of extra help, you don't have to worry about him taking any sort of damage, or you really don't have to protect him at all. He has no health bar, he's not going to drop the machine's not going to break, like nothing like that. It's kind of just said just for the sake of saying it, I suppose. So he can become a punching bag and you don't have to worry too much about it. I find that he sticks pretty close to where your party is, so he kind of gets in the way, but he may act as sort of a distraction momentarily if that's something you might need.
Call me when you need me.
And I was going to chain, but I did forget to take off my very powerful attacks with Judo and Crocel here, and I don't want those at the moment, but I probably will switch back for the upcoming boss fight. The very strong attacks are really nice because they are extremely overpowered. It's just that you have to watch the cinematic and it can't be skipped. And that's a pretty time-consuming thing to watch over and over again, especially if you are using it a lot. So I try to avoid it if I can. And I'm not even really needing to chain in this area. I'm finding it relatively easy to just attack the enemies as is. Just need to make sure I'm going the right way, because we will eventually hit the altar. And obviously you can't miss it, because it's going to be shown to us with that large barrier like the other altars had. Although it has been quite some time since we've seen one. Those quests that take a really long time can be very easily forgotten about just because we haven't really done anything with them for quite some time. What I'll probably do is just fight this final mob here and perhaps clear out the rest of the area off screen so that I can focus on completing those couple of side quests that we have in the next video, just because this fighting, while relatively easy, is taking a little bit longer than I would like, and it's eating up lots of video time. So I think I'll do that and meet you guys in the next video. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.